Okay, hi guys, good morning. I'm Meghna here. So I heard from Prashant sir that most of you will have doubts from math topics. So can you guys quickly start off with your doubts? So okay, just give me a minute. Let me first read your questions that you've already sent, and then decide how to do it. Okay. Uh, okay, most of y'all are looking for mensuration questions, right? Could you explain the topic based on ratio, proportions, and percentage? You guys don't have ratio, proportions, and percentage. Harshita, the drawing session will be from 11 to 12. Okay? Last minute math practice of which chapters? Okay, guys, just hold on. Stop sending your questions. I'll just quickly brief you guys about what you need to be doing right now. Okay? For now, firstly, I'm assuming that all of you all have taken up all the mock tests online. If not, I would suggest please go through the mock tests online. First thing. Okay? Second thing, I'm again assuming you guys know the syllabus very well. The total number of mathematical questions that you will have out of 60 is 30. Okay, wherein 20 questions will be strictly mathematics questions. Okay, out of the 60, and out of the rest 40, which is also called as your general aptitude questions. Under that, also you will have 10 math questions. 10 to 11 actually. Last year paper, that 2017 NATA paper had 11 math questions. So in total, you will be writing 30 to 31 questions of math out of the 60 that you have. Okay. Now I'll tell you how are the questions differentiated. Now in your general aptitude part, let's do the maths 20 questions later. First, let us cover up the 10 to 11 questions that you'll have in your aptitude. Okay. There, mainly based on your syllabus that's been mentioned, sets and relations, mathematical reasoning are really two important chapters, which is also mentioned in your syllabus that will be coming under the general aptitude. And I'm hoping that all of you are well prepared with it. Yes or no? Can you guys quickly reply? Sets and relations and mathematical reasoning. Okay, Vaishnavi is saying no. Two people said no. Yeah, Aditi, I will do that. Okay, so I'll brief you guys about sets and relations and mathematical reasoning. So now, based on the last year's paper pattern, we had only questions from sets and relations. There were no questions from mathematical reasoning. Okay, but we can't rely on it. The pattern might change this time. So apart from that, there are around 5 questions from mensuration. So if you guys have taken up the mock test, then you guys would understand about how the pattern is, because you will have around 5 questions, 5 to 6 questions of mensuration. So for mensuration, I would suggest there is the content put up on learn part of Edge. Okay. Yes, we will do mensuration. Let me just brief this thing, and then I'll start with the explanation part. Okay, guys. So yeah, and there was one question which I came across, which was a question related to shares and partnership. Okay, it is not sure that you don't have profit related questions, Suprita. Yes, Gunashri, you have trigonometry, but that will be under maths, not in the aptitude part. Okay, so yeah, so this one question that we came across in aptitude related to shares and partnership, not necessary that the same question might be repeated. It might be some random quantitative related question. Okay, so I would suggest you guys should have a basic knowledge about what is simple interest, what is compound interest, how to calculate percentage. Okay, and when two terms are given in a ratio, like if I say A is to B, you should be able to figure out how to solve the question. That's like basic level of quantitative knowledge that you need to have. Okay, because I can't be very sure which topic they would be asking question from. If it's from shares and partnership, then I would suggest you guys go through the content that's been put up online on Edge, so it will be easy for you guys to at least have an understanding about it. Okay, that's one. So ultimately now out of the 40 questions, the math topics that you need to figure out or prepare for would be mensuration, all the area, volume and how to find the length, Pythagoras theorem, all these formulas. Secondly, sets and relation. Third, it would be mathematical reasoning. Okay, so these topics, I seriously, I'm telling you, please go through these and prepare for these. Okay, that should be a priority. Then the next thing, when it comes to the math part, okay, the 20 questions that you have under mathematics, the most weightage is for theory of calculus, which includes differential, integral, and differential equations. I'm repeating again, differential calculus, integral calculus, and differential equations. These three chapters has more number of questions asked under the 20 questions that you have for math. Okay, and the next priority is matrices. You'll have 3 questions from matrices. All these I'm saying as per the pattern of 2017 NATA paper. Again, not necessary that the same level of weightage needs to be maintained this year. The questions can go up and down as well. I hope you guys are clear about it. Okay. Okay, Darshan is asking me to repeat the topics for general aptitude. It's sets and relations, mathematical reasoning, and mensuration. Okay, Shivani, each question carries 2 marks. Okay, so yeah, so most of you guys are asking for mathematical reasoning. Before that, I'll just show you guys. Can you all see the screen? Okay, so now on the edge, if you see the learn part, mathematics, so can you see all these topics given here? See, you have sets and relations, shares and partnership is also put up, and mensuration. Okay, so you have formulas for area and then volume and the perimeter, everything. So you just need to know all these. These are the most basic, and please concentrate on platonic solids. So basically platonic solids are only 5. There are 5 standard platonic solids. You need to know the number of faces, that is the surfaces, vertices and edges. Try and by heart them because they would no, Riddhi, there's no nothing as such. There's no rule that you need to score minimum in math. As far as it's given in the brochure, you need to get 25% in each of them. Like in your aptitude, you need to get 25%, and in your drawing, you need to get 25%. That's what I'm aware of as of now. So the marks will be calculated for your general total 60 questions, not only for math or not only for your aptitude part. It is on the content part. I'm showing it right now. And for those who are saying it's locked, I think you'll have to get access to it. And I believe Dion sir just spoke to you guys about how you need to get access to it. Okay. So now let's get back to mathematical reasoning. Okay, I can see a few of the students who attended my sessions, physical classes. The rest who haven't, mathematical reasoning, I believe you guys did it in your 11th, correct? So most of y'all would be from science background, so you would know the physics gates that you learned, AND gate, OR gate, correct? Muskan, it would take some time. Just give us some time because they need to give access to all of you all, so it might take some time. Just hang on, okay? Maybe by the end of this session, we'll try to give you the access. Okay, so let's get back to mathematical reasoning now. I'm quickly briefing, so try and understand, okay? Just give me a minute. I'll try and find out if I can have the truth table. Okay, guys, can you guys see the screen right now? No, Harshita, you don't have questions from conic section. Okay, now if you guys can see statements as okay, firstly, all of you have said you guys know about logic gates like your AND gate, OR gate, and stuff. Okay, the same, and people from computer science would know your binary relations as well, and OR relations. The same concept needs to be applied here. Okay, you will have questions from circles, Manish. So the idea is here they would give you two statements. Say, for example, when I say, what are statements? Let us first understand what is, yes, Uzair, this is the same as tautology. First, let us understand what are statements. Statements are something for which you can give truth values. When I say truth values, it means true or false. Okay? Say, for example, if I say India is in London, you can easily say if the statement that I just said is true or false, right? I hope you guys are following it. Same way, if I ask, how old are you? Can you give truth value to the questions that I just put up? I want replies. Darshan is saying yes. When I say how old are you, can you give a truth value to it? No. So you need to understand statements are only those for which you can give truth values. So if I just say close the door, can you give a truth value to it? Close the door. No. So these kind of statements, sentences which are questions, or if you have an exclamation to it, okay, or if it has a command or an order, the sense that it puts up, or whatever outcome that the sentence gives is a command or an order, such sentences can never be called as a statement. You should understand this first, okay? And mathematical reasoning is basically based on statements. Statements meaning which you can give truth values to such sentences. Now, a simple statement is a statement which cannot be, broken down and further. Like when I say India is in London, you can't break it down further. But if I say India is in London and New Delhi is in India, so now I've joined two different statements using a connective, right? You can use and or your when it comes to computer science, maybe you would have used if then, if else. Okay, the same concept is applied here as well. Instead of binaries 1 and 0, we use true or false here in mathematics. I hope you guys are clear till here. Yes, no. Okay, so now main thing that you need to understand, okay, something that you need to remember is how does the truth value work? Say for example, if they give you a relation, Sridivya is not understood. Sridivya, just understand this one particular thing. You will have statements, okay, which will be joined using two or more, sorry, one or two connectives. Wait, let me just show it to you. Okay, the example is not here. One sec. Okay, can you guys see this now? See the same thing that I said. Any sentence, when I say New Delhi is in India, you can say whether the sentence is true or false. When you can do this, only such kind of statements are, sorry, sentences are called a statement. Understood? Now check the third example. It says close the door. Will you be able to assign a truth value, say if it is true or false? You can't do that, right? So such kind of sentences will never be called as a statement. I hope you're clear now. Yeah? Okay, so the next thing is, now this is just one single statement, right? When I say every rectangle is a square or New Delhi is in India, it's just one particular statement. I can put up or I can join many of these statements together. Like two or more statements can be put together. Like how you learn in your English conjunction or what is that called, interjection, all these things. The same concept is applied here. Now the first thing is, now if you can see the compound statements, it says 11 is both an odd and a prime number, which means I'm putting two different sentences together. So I can break this into 11 is an odd number and 11 is a prime number. You guys got the difference now? Okay, so what we basically do in mathematical reasoning is, when I break this down into two different statements, when I say 11 is a prime number and 11 is an odd number, so the connectivity that I'm using is and, right? These are the following connections given. The and is basically called as conjunction. So based on what your connectivity is, you have different ways of writing the truth table, which is this. So when you, if you can see, always this is a standard truth value that you need to assume. Just remember this. See, you need, there's no need for you to understand much about statements, because as far as the questions is concerned in your question paper, they would give you a, lengthy expression, maybe of this form. See, as you can see here, they would give you something like this. Okay, I think if you guys have taken up the JEE paper, you might have come across a question related to mathematical reasoning. So they would give you this and ask if the given expression is a tautology or a contradiction. Or they would give you the LHS and ask you what is it equivalent to? What do you think will be the RHS? So what you need to do is, you need to take truth values for P. Again, take truth values to Q. Based on the relation here, you need to form a truth table. What is a truth table? This is called a truth table. Okay, please reply me. I don't want to rush up. If you guys are not understanding, I can repeat it again. Guys, can you hear me? So you did you guys understand so far? I'll tell you how the truth table works, but did you guys understand what truth table is? So if you see this expression, whatever is given here, any expression of this form is actually called as a Boolean expression. Okay. So when they give you such a statement or such a condition, you need to prove them using the truth table. Did you guys understand till here? Yes or no? Why only two people are responding? Rest are not online? Okay, anyways, let's just move ahead. Okay, so the next thing is, now let's see one by one what the truth values are. So whenever it is and, this symbol you can see here, V, ulta V, this is and. Okay, So P and Q, you just apply your basic English sense, okay? When I say 11 is a prime number and 11 is an odd number, so both of them are true. If so, here what happens? 11 is a prime number is your P. 11 is odd number is your Q. Okay. This P and Q that is written should be taken by you. You take the truth values by default. So for P it is always true, true, false, false, and Q is always true, false, true, false. Okay. Now, if the relation is and, if both are true, only then it is true. Rest all will be false. Okay. If the relation given is or, say for the same example, 11 is prime number or 11 is odd number. If both are true, it is true. If one is true and one is false, also it's true. If both are false, only then it is false. Are you guys able to understand? I want you guys to respond. Until as you guys respond, I will not know what is happening. Can you guys hear me? Can you all hear me? I don't see any response from you guys. Okay, I'm getting all your responses now. Great. So yeah, you guys understood up to the and or relation, right? So the next thing is called the negation. Okay, negation is always opposite to your given truth value. So if I have true, it is always the other way around. Negation is the opposite of the existing truth value. So these are the things you need to remember. Just understand that and go. It should be enough. Now the next condition is conditional. That is if then, which means when I say if P is true, then Q should be true. Okay, conditional. The How does conditional relation work is I assume P, okay, based on which I need to conclude Q. Fine. So now P is true, Q is true, which means P implies Q. The final answer is also true. Okay. I am assuming something right, but the conclusion ends up being wrong, which means it is false. Ultimately, what matters to us, what is the conclusion, right? Similarly, irrespective of what you assume, your conclusion still is right. So again, this part will be true. Okay? The last part, you make a wrong assumption and you get a wrong answer. Correct? So what is happening? Both the cases, like the assumption as well as the conclusion, is totally dependent on each other. Correct? So that's why the final truth value will be true. Again, clear? Okay, Urja, I'll explain it to you. Okay, one sec. Okay, Prachi, did you understand the conditional operation, or do you want me to repeat it again? Okay. Okay, Prachi, just understand. Okay, let's just see this one particular example. Where is it? Assumption, conditional. Yeah. So here, conditional statements are those. Now, when I say ABC is a triangle, so here ABC is a triangle will become the statement P. Okay. Angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree will be your Q. So what is happening here? I am taking if this holds, if P, then Q. Okay. Firstly, P is true, like P is a triangle, which means Q is also true. Then what happens to the truth value of the entire statement here? It is true. Correct? The second case, I'm saying ABC is a triangle, then angle A plus angle B plus angle C is not equal to 180 degree. I'm saying this particular second half is false. So what happens? If it is a triangle, it should be equal to 180 degree, right? So the second one is false. The third one, I'm not saying ABC is a triangle, but I'm still saying the final answer that I get is angle A plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree. So the conclusion matters to me. So finally, the truth value of the entire statement is true. Got it? The last case is I'm saying ABC is not a triangle, then angle A plus angle B plus angle C is not equal to 180 degree. Do you understand now? I'm saying P is also false, Q is also false. Ultimately, the truth value is true. I hope you got the difference. Somebody asked for it. I don't know who asked it. It just went off. But yeah, do you guys get it now? Sahil. Sahil, you understood? Okay, great. So now, and there was one question related to negation. When they say negation of two statements, now as you can see here, like negation of conjunction. When they say negation of P and Q, you can write it as negation P or negation Q. This is like your De Morgan's law when it comes to sets. A union B whole complement is A complement intersection B complement. Okay, the same logic is applied here. Similarly, negation of disjunction is like when you say P or Q, then it is negation P and negation Q. Understood? Now, let's do the next one. We finished conditional. The next thing you need to know is biconditional. Biconditional is if and only if case, which means I should be able to assume P and prove Q. Similarly, the other way around, I should be able to assume Q and prove P, which means the truth value will hold only if both are true or only if both are false. Because it has to work both the ways, right? So I can't use if and only if one is true and one is false. That's why if it is true and true, it's true. False and false is true. But when it comes to true, false, or false, true, it becomes false. Great. So next thing is contrapositive. Contrapositive is any statement, any compound statement is said to be contrapositive if when I say P implies Q, and if you can say negation Q implies negation P, then it is contrapositive. So I'll just give you an example quickly. Where is this contrapositive thing? Um, yeah. So take this example. Can you see this? If I can go to the market, then my car is, oh sorry, the given statement is this. If my car is in the repair shop, then I cannot go to the market. You guys are able to see? It says if my car is in the repair shop, then I cannot go to the market. So here, my car is in the repair shop becomes P, and I cannot go to the market becomes Q. Now what you need to do is first take the negation of both of them. Okay, the negation Q is I cannot go to the market. Negation P becomes my car is not in the repair shop. Now check if negation Q implies negation P, which is if I can go to the market, then my car is not in the repair shop. Does it make sense? the truth value still holds. So such statements are called contrapositive statements. So basically, if P implies Q, and if you're able to find out negation Q implies negation P, such statements are called contrapositive statements. Okay, so I would request that all of you all just note this down. Okay, maybe you guys can understand later. Okay, the last thing, when do you say a given expression is tautology? When all the truth values are true. If all of them are true, then it's called a tautology. If all of them are false, it is called a contradiction or a fallacy. Clear? Okay, now you guys are asking for sets and relations. Just give me a minute. Inverse different from in inverse it is prapti, right? Prapti inverse, it is negation P is implying negation Q, but when it comes to contrapositive, negation Q is implying negation P. It's the other way around. When I say implies, it means if P then Q, right? So what you assume matters. For an inverse, you assume negation P and prove it is negation Q, but for contrapositive you take negation Q and prove negation P. There's a difference there. Okay. Sets and relations. I'm doing sets and relations. The level of questions be the same as that of ours in NATA 2017. We are hoping for that, Priyanka, because this is the second question paper, and also from next year, it is mandatory for all the students applying for NATA to have PCM in their 11th and 12th. But since this is the last year where people from non-mathematics background can also take up, we are hoping that the level of difficulty would be around the same level or slightly more, but it would not reach up the level of JEE. Or if you're prepared for the JEE level, you can easily attempt NATA. Okay, someone's asking for coordinate geometry. Okay, guys, again, coordinate geometry, when it comes to 2D or 3D, you need to know the straight lines equation of a plane in Cartesian form. You don't have vector algebra. You don't have complex numbers. Okay? Learn them in the, what is the weightage for permutation and probability? Two questions each. Two from PNC and two from probability and stats. Okay. Now, when it comes to 2D and 3D geometry, you guys should know the concepts of how to write the equations firstly, and especially in 3D geometry, you should know how to write direction ratios when you have two different points given to you. Muskan, two questions from 2D geometry, two questions from 3D geometry. Okay, so you should be able to figure out the how do I say direction ratios from the given equations. First thing. Second thing, mostly if you look at the questions, they would ask you to find the one of the coordinates of the perpendicular. Okay, or they would mostly ask you the condition of perpendicularity or parallel. So you should be knowing the conditions like A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2 is equal to 0. That's for perpendicular. Similarly, A1 by A2 equals B1 by B2 equals C1 by C2. That follows your parallel condition. Understood? So you should know this. Darshan, to find collinear, 3 points are said to be collinear if the area of the triangle is equal to 0. The determinant form. Okay? Oh my god, you guys have so many doubts. You guys are expecting me to discuss the entire math syllabus. What is this, people? What were you guys doing all this time? Trigonometric part, I could find it somewhat tough in set 1. Prachi, as of now, based on the syllabus, we have trigonometry given to you. But last year's question paper didn't have any trigonometric question as such. Okay. Kushbu, I'm not sharing anything on the screen. I'm just explaining things to you, so just understand. When it comes to 2D and 3D geometry, mainly you need to concentrate on plane equation, direction ratios, okay? And also make sure you know the condition of parallel and perpendicular. And this is one thing you guys need to clearly remember. When you have a plane, okay, every plane will have a normal vector to it. correct? By default, can you guys hear? Urja, can you hear me now? So every plane will have a normal to it. What is a normal to the plane? Any line that is perpendicular to your plane is called normal, correct? So now when they are asking you to find the line or equation of a line that is perpendicular to your plane, then you should always immediately remember any line, if it is perpendicular to my plane, it will automatically be parallel to the normal of my plane. Are you guys getting the difference what I just said? Any line is perpendicular to my plane means it is parallel to the normal of my plane. Got it? So which means you will have to immediately think of using the parallel condition or the perpendicular condition. Depending on, always remember guys, this is a very common tip that I've been telling all of you all. It's not that you guys don't know the concept. All of you all are very good with the concept. At least you've worked hard enough to understand the concepts. Only thing where you guys make a mistake is you don't try to read and understand the question. So first thing what you need to do is read the question like twice or thrice. Understand what they are asking you. So if they ask you to find x, you should know what x is. That's the first thing you need to do. Understood? After you figure out what you need to find out, look for what is given to you. I'm pretty sure you guys would have done this in your, physics problems section. Okay. First thing you write when a problem is asked is you write the given. Given, these are the things given to me. Do the same thing here as well. Figure out what are the data given to you. So if they give you direction ratios, if they give you a point, you should be able to write the equation of a line using direction ratios and a point. You should know how to write it. But if they've not given you the direction ratio, if they just say there is a plane given to me and a point is given, find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to my plane. How will you write the equation? You should find out the same concept what I just said. The line will be parallel to the normal. So how will you write the direction ratios when your equation is given, equation of a plane? Your ax plus by plus cz plus d is equal to 0. A, B, C will be your direction ratios, right? So again, from there, you got the direction ratios. You have a point. So the formula you use is the same. But how you use it is different. You guys are figuring out, like, are you guys getting what I'm trying to say? So always try and understand what the question is asking you and make sure you get the data, what is given there. So based on the data given, you need to alter the formula that you need to use. Understood? So this is like, this holds for all the mathematics topics that you do, any mathematics questions. And a kind request to all of you all, please attempt the aptitude section first and then do the math part. Don't start with mathematics. Okay? You will not realize how long it would take. So you will lose track of time. So in case of, in order to do the 20 questions of math, you would lose rest 40 questions. So I would suggest please do the aptitude first and then do the math part. Sure, there's no question displayed as such. Okay, let's just leave it here. This would be better. You're welcome, Srividya. Okay, now let's get back to the other topics. Somebody asked with matrices. Matrices, you will have how many questions? You'll have 3 questions from matrices. Okay. Those who have attended the physical classes, I had given them the shortcut for determinant and adjoint. Okay. For those who haven't, I'm sorry. I don't think so I will be able to do it right now. But if you, I think it is available online. Maybe you guys can just try and look through it. Okay. Try for shortcuts on finding out determinant and shortcut to find A inverse. You will get, there might be videos available, just you can check on it and understand how to find them. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, concentrate on how to find the consistency of the given system of equations. Like in your matrices determinants, you will be able to find out the consistency of set of linear equations, right? So that's very important. You should be able to know how you need, when do you say the given system of equations are consistent and when it is inconsistent. That's one thing when it comes to matrices. And please go through few standard properties like adjoint AB is adjoint B into A, or determinant is you, all those properties of determinants, all these. Just roughly go through all of them because they would ask questions related to that. Understood? Uh, Uzair, this is supposed to be, what is the time right now? It's 10:45. So math is supposed to be till 11. Then from 11 to 12, you will have drawing. A review of drawing will go through. Okay. Then any other questions, people, quickly. Rahul, I'm not sure how it would be coming online. Like the last time the question paper they had, the 20 math questions was section A and section B was aptitude questions. So in case, even if in online, even if it is mixed up, you have an option of, moving to the next question. So you can just do that, finish all the architectural awareness, GK, mental ability questions, and then do it. Okay. And please make sure you have a time set. Like you should keep a track of time. You can't you take more than, like, maximum that you can spend is 90 seconds per question, not more than that. So try to finish all the questions. Especially if you there are a few questions where you would find it easy and finish it quicker. So if you do that, you can save up time for the difficult ones, like for calculus, trigonometry, or 3D, 2D geometry. All these would take some time. So you can go through there. Okay. I mean, you can utilize the time that you've spent, saved, while solving these questions. So try and keep a track of the time. Okay. Um, Shivani is asking tips for scoring. See, I seriously believe the best way of scoring is to play with your strengths. If you're weak in a subject and if you try and learn a lot, you spend a lot of time in learning that particular topic and not concentrate on the ones you know because you're confident that you know all of them, will not work. It never works. And take this thing out of your head that you need to finish the entire syllabus. That's not the point here. You should play smart. You should be able to, learn as much as you can, but according to your comfort zone. Say, for example, I'm just saying this as an example. If you find a permutation combination very tough, but you are spending like days together in learning permutation, assuming that you know all other topics, wherein permutation combination you'll have only two questions from there. In order to attempt those two questions, you're taking a chance with all other 18 questions, which is not right. Understood? And also what happens when you push yourself in learning all of the topics is that you will not be able to give 100% in all of them. You'll only do 50%, 60%, or 70%. So I seriously say, whatever you've learned so far, make sure you give 100% in all those topics. If you finish the entire syllabus, well and good, very, very good. Take up the mock test, make sure you're very thorough in it. And once you finish the mock test, if there's any topic or anything that you find difficult, only learn that particular concept and get back to the mock test. Understood? Don't go and sit with the entire chapter because you don't have time. So, like, your exam is tomorrow, and don't take chances with, directly dealing with, taking risk of oneself. Don't take chances or in your exam tomorrow. Please take up the mock test so you'll get an idea what kind of questions are there. Here you can take multiple attempts, but tomorrow you won't be able to take multiple attempts. Understood? Okay. Mariam is asking what are the common silly mistakes in this section. Which section, Mariam? Atharva is asking if NATA exam is easier than the DQ mock test. I'm not sure about it, Atharva. See, the mock test has been prepared based on last year's question paper. Like whatever the pattern or the level of difficulty was for last year's question paper, we have tried to incorporate the same amount here. So the level of difficulty might as well go up or come down. Okay, so we can't assure you that the level of difficulty would be the same. Shreya asked about sets and relations. I'm so sorry. Shreya, okay, quickly, I'm just telling you. Harshita, just wait. We'll give you access. Okay. No, Aditi. Okay, guys, there was a message sent on group regarding how the time is been shared. Okay, you won't be able to carry over your question that I mean your time if you save any time in the aptitude section. You can't take it to the drawing section. It is strictly 1.5 hour for drawing and 1.5 hour for your theory. So if you have time, please try to recheck your questions and make sure you're very clear with it. You're very sure about what the answer is because you can't carry over your time. Even for drawing, try to split the time exactly into 45 minutes, 45 minutes. Please make sure you spent that much time on the questions. Okay? In relations 2 power n, the number of subsets. Okay, guys, now when it comes to sets and relations, just stop for a second because I'm getting distracted with too many questions coming up at a time. Let me finish sets and relations and then I'll answer your questions again. Okay. Sets and relations, firstly, try to know what is intersection or what is difference between two sets, union and all that. Learn through all the algebraic relations like A union B is equal to whatever it is. Okay. And you should know number of elements in the sets. Okay, and you should know what is Cartesian product. What is a Cartesian product of a set? A cross B is always writing all the elements. Oh God, I think I'll have to open up the one sec, guys. I don't know if it's clear. I'll just see if it's here. Okay, it's not here, so I don't think so. I will be able to show it to you guys. But yeah, just understand this. Yeah, so understand this. You should know what is a cardinal number. That is, the total number of elements in your set is called as cardinal numbers. Okay. The other thing, the total number of subsets a set can have is always 2 to the power n. Okay. When I say relations, what is a relation? A relation is something defined between two different sets, right? So say for example, if I have a set A and set B, A is equal to B is called as a relation, where equal to will be a relation. Understood? Always remember the relation equal to is the smallest equivalence relation. Okay, I tell you what is equivalence relation also. Similarly, the cross product, the Cartesian product that you can have, A cross B, that is the largest equivalence relation again. Understood? Now, what is, I'm sorry, what is equivalence relation? Firstly, it should satisfy reflexive, symmetric, and transitive relations. If these three holds, such a relation is called an equivalence relation. Now, one mistake that most of us do when it comes to symmetric and transitive is, so what is reflexive always? Reflexive is if you have a set A and if you have few elements A, B, C, D in it, each element should be related to itself. That is reflexive. This everybody gets it right. But when it comes to transitive and symmetric, you make a mistake. You guys keep checking with the elements in the set. That's not how you need to check symmetric and transitive. Okay? Symmetric relation is defined as if I have A comma B present in the R, set R, then R B comma A should be present in the set R as well. So what happens? Only if A B is there, you need to check if B A is there. Don't check with respect to the elements in your set. Understood? See if A comma B is there in the set first. If B comma A is not there, then it's not symmetric. Understood? The same holds to transitive as well. You should have AB and BC in the set. Only then you need to check for AC. Don't try and look for all the possible relations you can make, like AB, BA, or BC, whatever it is. Okay? See what is given in your relation. Based on that, you see if it's symmetric or transitive. Understood? And what else do you need to know in sets and relations? This should do. Yes, Prachi, that's how it will work. Since it's online, I think they will. I'm not sure whether if you'll have your online first and then drawing. I don't know how that's going to work, but they'll strictly give you 1.5 hours for theory, where the timeline will be running. Once the 1.5 hour is over, automatically it's shut down. After that, you need to do the drawing section. Swapnil, you will get access to mock test. Just wait. Okay, Rumita is asking anything important with theory of calculus. See, theory of calculus, mainly you need to concentrate on definite, indefinite, integral calculus and differential calculus, where these limits, continuous functions, all these comes. Okay, mostly they would ask at which point is the given function continuous or when is it differentiable. Okay, that thing. And differential equations, learn the degree and order of them. Always remember when you need to write the degree or order of any differential equation, you should first write it in the polynomial form. You can't directly take the degree and order of any equation. Okay, that's one thing. And just understand about maxima minima as well, because most commonly they ask is a function, when is a function maximum or when is it minimum. Okay, again when it comes to one more thing, as based on the last year's paper, I'm just saying this, logarithms and trigonometry question was not asked directly, but the idea or the concept of these two was used in other questions, like maybe in case of calculus part, or they would have asked it in trigonometry. So not necessary that the questions needs to be direct always. There are cases where you can solve the questions using any of the topics or any of the concepts. You just need to know everything well. Okay, and Shravani, you don't have binomial theorem. Okay, and so yes, guys, I think it's 11. Yeah, it's 11. So you guys have any other doubts? I hope the session was helpful. Drumika, I'm not sure of the percentages for. Oh, this thing, I think it is based on your boards, not the NATA score, but still, I would suggest, since the last session, like from 12 to 1, you have a person giving you tips related to how to crack, last minute tips. Maybe you can ask these questions to him. He would be able to tell you about how the weightage works and all that. Riddhi is asking what is a good score in NATA. Even I would be a wrong person to answer this, but I've heard from Sham sir and others saying that it should be above 120, 130. So try and attempt or score, above 120, 130. Okay. Atharva, even that we're not sure how it is going to work. We don't know if you'll have individual timer for each separate question, or overall you'll have a timer. We are hoping it would be an overall timer. Okay. So because individual questions should not be the case. You won't need 90 seconds for each question. Okay. Sorry guys, there was a technical issue. Um, okay, I'll quickly brief up entirely what you need to. You don't have complex numbers, you don't have vector algebra, and you don't have binomial theorem for NATA. Please don't spend your time learning all these. Okay, maybe vector algebra, since you had it in the 12th standard, so the knowledge that you have is more than enough. Got it? And concentrate and try to, work on sets and relations and mathematical reasoning first, because that is under your aptitude. You can at least get it right. And then play with your strengths, work on all the topics that you're very comfortable, okay, and you're very confident, like you can properly score. So now what you need to think is, if you're learning even one single topic, you should be able to give 100% in that topic. Like any question from that topic, you should be able to answer. It's not that you learn profit and loss, or you learn, sorry, not profit and loss, permutation combination, or you learn coordinate geometry 2D, but you get 50% in it. Oh, the question was difficult, I couldn't do it. That should not happen. Whatever you learn, make sure you give 100% of it. Okay? How many questions will we get from profit permutation combination? You have two questions. Okay, guys, I think I'm taking too much time. Velu sir is already here. So the rest of the things, maybe in the tips in the last session that you'll have from 12 to 1, you can get it clarified there regarding what should be the score, or what is the weightage and all that. Okay. So all the best to all of you all. Do well. Don't panic. Be very confident, and please attempt the aptitude first and then get back to the math questions. I hope all of you are clear with it. And students who used to come here to DQ, my students, please do well. All the very best. And for all others as well. All the best, guys. Okay, now just stay